Good morning and welcome to For the District, the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for JMCSS. The Hub City could soon be known as Title Town for high school hoops, as 3 high schools in the Jackson-Madison County school system have punched their ticket to the 2025 Blue Cross Basketball State Championships in Murfreesboro. Now, this is the second time in about 5 years that the district has sent 3 teams to the district, or this is the second time in 4 years the district has sent teams to the state tournament. But in bigger context, as a district, it's the 10th state appearance in 5 years for JMCSS schools. It's been a lot of success lately. Joining me now, not only to talk about the success of basketball in West Tennessee, but also what basketball can mean to a young man, a young woman, to a family. DaMonn Fuller, head coach of the Southside boys basketball team. He's getting ready to take his Southside Hawks to the state tournament in days. Paula Fuller, his mother. Did you know she is a Hall of Famer in the Tennessee Community College Athletic Association, and she will be inducted into the Jackson-Madison County Hall of Fame in April. Coach Fuller, thank you for joining me.
Glad to be here.
So, although this is a basketball conversation, we do want to start the podcast where we always start the podcast, being that this is for the school system. Ms. Fuller, you currently work for Jackson State Community College.
I do.
Been there a long time. Coach, you've been at Southside for more than 2 decades.
That's right.
But the question is, did you always know you wanted to work in education? We'll go ladies first. Ms. Fuller.
Definitely not.
Okay.
That was the last thing on my list.
Okay. After basketball.
Yeah, right. You have that dream with playing ball that you want to coach at some point, or you want to play in the NBA because that's all that was available at the time. But then as time went on and you, because I went into the marketing field, I realized, and when I come back to Jackson, and jumped in at Jackson State, and I was like, this is a pretty good spot to be. My mom always told me, that's what I need to do. I said, but Mama, they don't make no money.
Coach Fuller, did you always know you wanted to work in education?
No, sir. I didn't. I was actually pouring concrete the day that I went up to the school to get off the job. And I walked in the office, and that was the opportunity. So I just, this is, I can, no.
Now, we're going to talk about a lot in the 30 minutes we're together, but I want to go ahead and throw out these numbers when you think about the success Coach Fuller has had at Southside High School. Under Coach Fuller, the Southside boys basketball team has made 9, 1 year as an assistant, 8 years as a head coach. 2025, 2022, 2021, 2020, 2018, 2014 I know was special. Yeah. The state tournament year, 2013, 2004, and 2003. The state championship in 2014, you stand this year, another opportunity to bring a gold ball to the city of Jackson as you prepare for another trip to the Glass House in Murfreesboro. What type of emotions are you feeling?
Being with this group, the last time we went was 3 years ago. And we played back-to-back with Greenville. And those guys that we have now got an opportunity to be on their floor. And we've been talking about it all year, so they get a chance to finish their careers on this floor. And we just, putting things in perspective, and the guys are excited about it. And, it's just what we do at Southside. We try our best to get there, to get this job done every year.
Talking to Coach Brent McNeil, the head coach of the girls basketball team, they've made, 9 appearances overall, but you look at Coach McNeil, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2017, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, a state championship for the girls. What's it been like to see the culture of winning across the board in the gymnasium?
It's great because it with so much negativity in the community. When you come that way, you hear positive stuff about the programs. Not only basketball, but baseball and all those. We're all trying to create that that culture that when you come out, as they say, across the fork of the river, you got an opportunity to be great in sports and in academics because, as I know this year, all my seniors were 3.5 better grade point averages.
Now, say that again, Coach. Let's slow down. Yeah. Say that again because that is a major deal.
Yeah, all of my seniors were GPAs was 3.5 and better.
Yeah. Miss Fuller, DaMonn's mother, for those just now tuning in. Are you surprised to hear that his athletes have a 3.5 or better GPA?
Not really, because that's how we raised him. Mm-hmm. You do the best that you can. Good enough is not good enough. And so he instilled that in his head, and I was very proud when they awarded the academic team in the district. And you looked, and all of his seniors was across there. And I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome.
Speaking of awesome, Miss Fuller, you played ball in the 70s.
Yes.
And folks that have done a little history, they hear about Pat Summitt and how women's sports was just really getting started during that time period. When you look and see what the girls basketball team at Southside is doing and the success they're having, as a pioneer of the sport here locally, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's just wonderful. It's wonderful because knowing that we worked hard back then and you didn't get the recognition that the men would always get. But just to see that with Title IX and people understanding that, women can play some ball. And it's been awesome to see Southside when they began and to see where they are now. It's just wonderful. It's a blessing. And just to know that, hey, I used to play the game. I said, but now I work for a living, so I don't play that much.
We're visiting with DaMonn Fuller, head coach of the Southside boys basketball team, and his mother, former coach Paula Fuller. She's a Hall of Famer in the Tennessee Community College Athletic Association, and she will be inducted into the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame in April. Coach, I was asking you this earlier. You had several big games during the regular season. You, just a few years ago, it seems like short years ago, you were playing freshmen and sophomores. I mean, that's all you had.
Yes.
But now that investment has paid off in 2025, can you kind of give us some context about the work that went into this state tournament team you have now, because it didn't just happen overnight?
Oh no, it did not. When we lost the other group of seniors, we looked at the guys and we knew we had a lot of work to do. And each year we just gave goals that we wanted to obtain, and we got there and we was like, well, we got that sooner than I thought, so, let's keep working with it. And so we kept working with it and kept working with it. Kids started believing. And we played at Northside at Lane College. And I don't think we had won a game in like 8-9 games. And then we beat Northside over there at Lane College and ended up regular season first. And then they got to the locker room before I got in there, and they was talking about, man, we can do this. Like, who are these people, And so after that, then I knew that we had some potential.
So the sport of basketball has meant so much to both of you. When we get back from this commercial break, I want to talk about those soft skills and the character traits you all learned through the game. We're visiting with DaMonn Fuller, head coach of the Southside boys basketball team, and his mother, Hall of Famer, Paula Fuller. You're listening to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools on JJ 97.7 FM.
Hey, guess what? We get to pick our clubs tomorrow at school. What should I pick?
What about picking 4-H?
That sounds like fun, but maybe I'll pick choir club or STEM club or nursing club or photography club.
You could say my kids are excited over all the options and opportunities offered by Jackson-Madison County Schools. Our public schools offer more than 100 different clubs and activities for students.
Wait, I know. Ukulele club.
Oh boy, maybe let's stick to art or debate.
For options and opportunities, tuition free, choose Jackson-Madison County Schools.
Welcome back to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. March Madness has a great meaning in the Hub City, as the Hub City could soon be known as Title Town. We've got 3 high schools in the Jackson-Madison County school system participating in the state tournament at the high school level. So we want to welcome Coach DaMonn Fuller, head coach of the Southside boys basketball team, and Paula Fuller. She's a Hall of Famer and a former coach. She's a Hall of Famer in the Tennessee Community College Athletic Association. And in April, she will be inducted into the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. Coach, surprising to know your mom's a Hall of Famer?
Not at all. Not at all. I had the opportunity to see her play. And the things that I saw, I knew she was, going to be good at this. She does a great job. The stuff she showed me, I tried it. It works. So I knew, she was going to be good at this.
Ms. Fuller, I do want to ask you, I know basketball has meant so much to DaMonn. I know basketball's in your background, but take us back a little bit. What's your earliest basketball memory for you?
I think when I got to, back then it was junior high.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna get to play some basketball. But I never knew that conditioning was part of that. And Coach T. Willie Tyson introduced me well.
Right.
And the first, we didn't touch a ball. It was just running and more running and more running. And out in the country, there's plenty of room to run. Yeah. And so that, I think, was the beginning of me understanding the total game. And that conditioning went with it. And so I found out that if we go head on and get it done and taken care of, we could get to the balls. And that's what I was in. So I think that was actually understanding the game on a competitive level.
Coach Fuller, you've played basketball pretty much all your life. What's one of your earliest basketball memories?
To piggyback off my mother, Coach Tyson started running me, and I went home and wanted to quit. And they actually told me that, no, you're going right back up there. Don't call me anymore. Right. It's going to be a problem. But that literally happened, because I didn't know what Coach Tyson was on. He was doing something I ain't never experienced. I think we lost by 40 one night to Bolivar, and we got off the bus, and he made us run for 14 minutes. Yeah. I said, okay, it's time to quit.
Lesson learned?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about T. Willie Tyson for a little bit. You got a new generation of kids who don't know the legend of Coach Tyson taking a team from West to the state tournament, having success at Southside High School. What has T. Willie Tyson meant in the space of basketball in the Hub City, and then just education in general? Ms. Fuller, we'll start with you.
Coach Tyson, an awesome legend. He poured into his players. And when it was business, it was business. Now in that gym, it was no playing. But just to know that fundamentally he set us straight as far as fundamentals, understanding the game as a whole, and the importance of team. And that's something that has gone with me throughout my life. Team, you never forget your family. And you always, I'm still in contact with all of them.
Coach Fuller, what has T. Willie Tyson meant to you?
When I got to West, we was playing county leagues on Saturdays, and the growth from the county league to the next year, being under Coach Tyson, I knew he knew what he was doing. But not only was he a great coach, he made you want to play for him, and it established you always got to have a player-coach relationship. And when I found that in the coaches that I went after, from either leaving Southside, going to Memphis, and all the respect that I gave Coach Tyson because of the respect that he gave you as a player, I had to have it because it was so pivotal in my career.
Coach, both of you had the awesome opportunity to play at the college level. The majority of your classmates did not. So let me ask you, What traits did you pick up in basketball that you were able to take off the court, whether it be in a job or in the classroom, in life? Can you kind of talk about that?
As I said previously about team, it cultivates a family atmosphere. And, you know, if it's family, we got each other's back. And I can call any of my teammates from high school all the way through Memphis. We talk, we still get together. It's just a nucleus. And I tell anybody, if I know that you've played a team sport, I'll hire you any day. I'll trust you with whatever because you understand the concept of everybody has each other back, and we're going to encourage to make each other better.
Coach Fuller?
I can remember just being in high school and situations that I shouldn't have been in. They wouldn't allow me to be in those situations. They said, "No, you're going to college to play basketball. You're going to do this." And it's mad respect for my teammates for even, acknowledging that. But the one thing, the brotherhood, as my mother talked about, today we are still tight. And, we try to get my current players to understand that you will forever be a family,
We're visiting with DaMonn Fuller, head coach of the Southside Boys basketball team, and his mother, Paula Fuller, a Hall of Famer in the Tennessee Community College Athletic Association, and will be inducted into the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame in April. Coach, when you prepare for the state tournament, I'm sure that preparation started just as soon as that sub-state game was over. Yes. This is not your first rodeo, so you kind of know what goes into this. Take us behind the curtain a little bit. How do you prepare for the three biggest games of the year?
The hardest part is the logistics part, being that Coach McNeil and the girls are playing, and the guys want to go support them. So we're trying to logistically try to figure out how to watch them practice. Keep watching them in practice, and then drive a 3-hour drive. But the hardest part is trying to get the guys to stay focused in on our task, and instead of trying to be, sometimes, these guys, remember, we hadn't won in 3 years,
Right.
So I'm trying to keep them. I hope they don't think the sub-state game was the championship.
Right.
So we're trying to keep them locked in. And trying to, get the information from East Tennessee on Tullahoma, and at the same time trying to support the girls.
Before we go to this timeout, I do want to ask this question, Coach. What has it been like for JCM to be back online and for their athletic program to be what it is? In football, they made a deep run in the postseason. They're one of the three teams playing in the state tournament, the Southside Boys, the Southside Girls, the JCM Boys. What's it been like to be around Kendall Dancy here in the JCM Cougars?
It's been amazing. I actually was with him yesterday, and, we have a great friendship, and I'm so proud of the whole community. It's with all the negativity that you hear every day, to hear the positivity from JCM and Southside getting up there is like new money, and I think that Kendall is going to continue to bring that tradition back to JCM because, like I said, with him doing it and then Eric did what he did in football, we're just waiting on the other sports to fall in line, and I think that it's a blessing that he's over there encouraging those kids because he does a great job mentoring his kids as well.
DaMonn Fuller, head coach of the Southside Boys basketball team, and his mom, the Hall of Famer, Paula Fuller, joining us on For the District. It's a podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. It's time for a quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Your school, your choice. Open enrollment with Jackson-Madison County Schools makes it possible. Register for unique school options like Madison Academic, Community Montessori, and the Middle School Academic Academy at Northeast. Visit jmcss.org before the deadline to apply. Welcome back to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. We're visiting with the Hall of Famer, Paula Fuller, and her son. You may have heard of him, DaMonn Fuller. He's the head basketball coach at Southside High School. Not only is he a state champion, he's got the boys basketball team back in the big dance. His Hawks will compete for another state title. They've made it back to Murfreesboro in the Glass House, the 2025 Blue Cross Basketball State Championship in Murfreesboro. Miss Fuller, I'm a parent now, so I know you can appreciate this. You know, a lot of people would say, "Oh, you know, you're the guy from TV,"
Yeah.
and now they say, "Oh, you're Solomon's dad," or "Oh, you're
Yeah,
Isabella."
right.
I don't have a name anymore. When did that start for you? Oh, you're Sean's mom. You're DaMonn's mom. When did that start picking up for you?
Probably as far as DaMonn is concerned, probably about 3 years in, because he was going back to the big dance, as they say, kind of back to back, and then they start saying, "Fuller, do you know DaMonn Fuller?" And so now I was just in Bolivar working this morning, and there was a young lady there, and she said, "What's your name?" I said, "Paula Fuller." She said, "You DaMonn Fuller's mom?" I said, "Yes, I am." But at least she did ask me what my name was.
Yeah.
So early on, he was very noticed in the community.
Yeah. Coach Fuller, I got to ask you. I know you're a standout athlete in your own right. You're on your way to being a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, some coaches coach all their life and never make the state tournament. You've won numerous district championships. You've made 8 appearances in the state tournament as a head coach. You got one state title on your resume. Looking for another. All that said, how cool is it to have a mom who is established, a Hall of Famer in her own right, and really someone who's been a mentor all your life?
It's amazing. Being a coach, a lot of kids don't have what I have, and I have a great mom and family that they extend themselves to those players that may not have that great situation, and for them to support me like they do, it's a blessing to have that opportunity to have them right there by me to help me with these situations that sometimes don't have anything to do with basketball.
Ms. Fuller, could you have dreamed this scenario so many years ago when West consolidated with Southside and they had to become really one family? Looking at that now, your son being, among those kids that came over from West to join Southside and make that one family. Could you have imagined how this played out? Your son not only would go on to be a standout athlete, a college player, then return under T. Willie Tyson, and now be a coach in his own right?
No, not really, because he didn't want to be in education. But it was always in him because he has that mentoring mentality, and he was always the leader. He always think that he's the dad and I'm the child sometimes. And so that's the attitude that he's always had, and you saw that in him. So I knew that it was going to be more than that. But then taking it to Southside after it closed down West, and I was like, I guess kept trying to figure out how you said Tiger Hawk, Hawk Tiger,
Yeah.
And the community, we all embraced it. And it has become one of the greatest things in the community that Southside and the Old West High have become one. And a lot of the children, people that I grew up with, and their children, the grandchildren. So it's become a generational thing, and it's an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing.
Coach Fuller, I was talking to Brent McNeil a week and a half ago or so, and in this interview, he talked about the Southside way or the Hawk way. Because you all share this space, you're around each other, your team watches, sees the the hustle that his team puts in. They see the hustle you put in. So this idea of the Hawk way, how would you describe that?
If you had a baseline run, instead of stopping where the baseline is, go to the wall. If you want to be at practice at 6, get there at 5:30. If you got a test, study the night before so you can go in and do what you're supposed to do. Don't expect not to be great. We won't allow you to be that. I don't care if you made the team. Expect greatness, and that's what we hang our hat on. It's not by chance that we get to this state tournament or do the things that we do. It's a requirement, and as long as we keep these kids at that type of level, if they fail, they'll be okay. But if we don't set that standard high, they might not be okay. And so even if we get there, if we don't, the standard has to be you going there. So you just might as well get in line.
A lot of your former players were at that sub-state game. Yeah. What was it like to have all those guys behind you? And I won't make the mistake of naming names. You can go on social media and see the photo there. More than a dozen of your former players there to support your current team. What's it like to see those men, because that's what they are now, what's it like to see those men living their own lives, many of them known throughout the community in positive ways, business owners and things of that nature? It's
amazing. It's amazing. And I think that's the first time in a while that they all have, showed up in the numbers. And some of them was there that didn't get in the picture. But to see that over there on the sideline, it touched my players. They wouldn't let my players, get to a level of not thinking that you're not going to win this game. And it's just what we teach. And to see those guys, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Investment from the alumni, investment from the fan base, because you guys have played a lot of games. And we don't think about it, but there is a literal investment that the fans make because they're paying the tickets to come out and see you. So they're not just they've really bought in literally. And I'm sure you appreciate that. Talk about that a little bit.
To go and support the girls on a Monday night, and then us on a Tuesday night, us the girls again on a Thursday, then us Friday, and then girls again Saturday, and then us again on Monday, paying $10 a ticket is amazing. And not only those my players' parents, but the fans doing the same thing. And my mom and my brother and my auntie and my church members and my family do the concessions. So this is every night. It's something, and to see the support from my administration, because everybody has lives, and to sacrifice their lives to come and support us every night. The Hawk Way is amazing. It's amazing.
Before we get out of here, I'm gonna give the last question to the Hall of Famer,
Gotcha.
Paula Fuller. So, Ms. Fuller, you will be inducted into the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame in April. You're already a member of the Tennessee Community College Athletic Hall of Fame based on your playing days at Jackson State. When you're a Hall of Famer, you gotta give a speech. Have you given any thought to what your speech will be like this time around for the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame?
Well, the whole happenings, if you will, has been just humbling for one. And I'm extremely blessed. And as I was telling you earlier, it's probably going to be a whole lot of thank yous and thank you, Lord, and thank you, Jesus, and them kind of thing. But just to know that your community is supporting and that they looked at, I played basketball a long time ago. And to know that the community is, and your peers are supporting you and have nominated you and felt like you deserve this honor, it's just amazing. It's amazing. I take Mon's word. It's amazing.
Will you mention DaMonn in your speech?
Maybe a taste.
Maybe a taste.
Because then,
a short speech, right?
And that I probably will have to, so they know I'm DaMonn's mama.
A short speech.
He's going to get in trouble. He's going to get in trouble.
Yes, he is.
You've been listening to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. We want to thank DaMonn Fuller, head coach of the Southside Boys basketball team, again making their 9th appearance in the TSSAA Blue Cross Basketball State Championships in Murfreesboro, and his mom so gracious to join us, Paula Fuller, the Hall of Famer. She'll be inducted into the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame in April. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are just now tuning in to For the District, you can catch this on radio731.com, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, also on YouTube. We hope you have a great Sunday, an excellent week, and we'll see you next time.